Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs. Welcome back to today's second video where I discuss Doctor Who Flux series... well no, it's Doctor Who series 13, episode 4 of this brand of Doctor Who which they've called Doctor Who Flux. Now the episode itself was titled The Village of Angels, so yeah, if you hadn't gathered from the title, it was a Weeping Angels episode. Now, this review is going to contain spoilers, and more importantly, I am going to be talking about everything we know about episode 5. So, like the penultimate episode of this series. I'm going to be discussing the Next Time trailer because there were some pretty big things that dropped in that trailer. Cough, cough, unit are back. Whoa, but yeah, we'll just jump straight into the review and I'll discuss that at the end. So, first up, the Weeping Angels themselves. I haven't really liked the Weeping Angels since their first appearance in 2007. So, Blink, I'd say, is the perfect Weeping Angel story, if not one of the most perfect Doctor Who stories ever written. The Weeping Angels aren't ridiculously overpowered, but it's a very, very interesting, high concept, high sci-fi, evil, creepy idea, which is handled really, really well. Now, for me, Series 5, it was boring. I didn't care for Flesh of Stone, well, Time of the Angels and Flesh and Stone. Like, Matt Smith was good in it, but, like, the rest of it was a bit naff. And I was never a fan of an image of an angel becomes itself an angel, because I just thought, like, it takes away from their original appearance in the show, doesn't it? Like, it just sort of ruins the mystery. And then you get, like, the Angels in Manhattan, where Stephen Moffat, like, back 2012, tried to go, how do we update the Weeping Angels? Oh, we'll make every statue, like the Statue of Liberty, a Weeping Angel. And, like, those ideas were a bit ridiculous, so I haven't really enjoyed a Weeping Angels episode since their first appearance, apart from this episode. I still think the power levels of them is a bit ridiculous. Like, the image of an angel becoming an angel, what? And the fact that, like, the Doctor became an angel or something, and then Claire had an angel inside of her. I think it gets a little bit too much. Like, ground the villains in the thing they can do and keep it like that, because for me, Blink was terrifying as it was. It doesn't need all of this extra stuff added on top. But I don't know, that might just be me. However, I did thoroughly enjoy this week's episode with their inclusion. And I think the fact that they're part of the Division, that's an interesting route to go down and not one I'd expected to sort of ever see. But it's very interesting the way they've done it. The Angels being able to talk was also a thing I wasn't really a fan of, and I wasn't a fan of it then, and I'm not really a fan of it now. I mean, it serves the story, and I get that they are sort of Division-level operative Weeping Angels, which is quite interesting. And the fact that that one Weeping Angel could apparently reveal to the Doctor all of these secrets, I don't know, it's interesting. And it makes me wonder, are we going down the sort of route of the Angels are dead Time Lords or something like that? I don't know. But overall, I'd say their inclusion in the episode served the story really well. None of it felt like it was done for the sake of it, which is good, because the Statue of Liberty, that just felt like Moffat going, spectacle! Look at this! Which was naff. This didn't feel like that. This felt like it genuinely was there to serve the story, and it served the story in a really interesting and good way. So, yeah. Thumbs up for Weeping Angels, their best appearance since 2007. Still not perfect though. Now, other characters in the episode, the Doctor, once again, Jodie Whittaker is at her best when she's under pressure. When her Doctor starts shouting, when her Doctor starts commanding the room, when she was bossing Professor Jericho around, it was really, really, really well done. Now, Yaz and Dan were sidelined. Vinda was basically not in the episode at all, apart from the post-credit scene-y bit. Belle, Vinda's love interest, she was there for a bit, and yeah, she's alright. I mean, we didn't get much more of her character. She's good, though. Like, I want to see more, and I think, yeah, overall pretty good. Professor Jericho was quite an interesting character. I liked that the angel, like, despite me not liking the fact that the angels can speak, I did like that it was sort of mocking him and saying, like, oh, look, you're bad, and this is why you don't like yourself. And I liked that aspect, and I liked that we delved in there. Claire, I thought, was a really cool character. I quite liked her. Like, hopefully we see more of her, because she also has that sort of commanding presence. Like, you don't get bored when they're acting on screen, like Jodie Whittaker or Claire. Both very good. John Bishop in this episode, I've loved him all the way through, but this episode he didn't really do much, in my opinion. Like, and I don't think that's his fault necessarily. I think the script didn't really call for him to do much. The child actor, yeah, solid. At least it wasn't like the ones in The Forest of the Night. She was pretty good for, like, Doctor Who level. So, yeah, respect on that front. I'm trying to remember, are there any more characters? I'm pretty sure that is, like... Oh, well, we did see Swarm and my good old friend Passenger pop up again. If you haven't already, please do go and check out my interview with Johnny Mathers, the actor of Passenger. Yeah, that's something you should definitely do, and I'll probably forget to link in the description, so go and find it yourselves. But yeah, overall, pretty solid episode. I'd like to see more of Swarm and Azure. Azure was in it, and like, well, the three of Swarm, Azure and Passenger. I want to see more of what they're doing, which I'm presuming is going to be next week's episode, because we do have this whole plot thread of Azure is luring all of these people into the Passenger form. So that's cool. That's interesting. I like that narrative idea. I do think, though, that, like, negatives of the episode, we are going to need clarity on what the Flux can actually do. Like, what the Flux is going on. But genuinely, I don't, like, if you asked me to describe the Flux, I'd say it's sort of like, it's a big plot thing, like, it's a sci-fi thing that moves around and eats things, but then leaves a bit of things, but tampers with time-ish. And then there's the time storm. What's a time storm? Is that part of the Flux? There's so many, like, inconsistencies, and that I just feel like, although I don't like exposition that much, we do need Jodie's doctor to sit there and go, right, so the Flux is ba 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 ba. Or we need another character to do that, because quite frankly, I'm lost. I don't really know what it is. It's just sort of there, and whenever the plot requires it to do something, it does something. So, yeah, I don't know. Now, yeah, in terms of actual, like, shock of the cliffhanger, I don't know where I stand with it. The Doctor's a weeping angel now, or is she? Or have they just, like, frozen her into that form? Or is that a form of, like, the ancient realm or something? She got angelified at the end. I don't really know. But it's interesting. I mean, if you tried to sell me on the idea with just a picture, I'd be a bit like, that's a bit ridiculous even for Doctor Who. But in terms of the story and in terms of the narrative, it did sort of, yeah, I liked the idea. I thought it was quite interesting, and I am excited to see where we go next week. Hold on, I will talk about the next time trailer very, very soon. I'm just trying to cover everything in the episode so far. Characters, yeah, pretty solid. Once again, it is the sort of issue with Flux of, like, I don't know whether it's an issue, but I personally never feel fully satisfied after watching an episode of Flux, because I am wanting more. And that sounds stupid, but that kind of is the point. Like, Chibnall is writing this as a serialized story. It's all one big story. So, yeah, it's meant to be binged, effectively. But then I do feel like, watching it week on week, I do want a little bit more resolution in each episode. I don't know if that's just me. I do still like it, but I think War of the Sontarans was perfect in that it had its own little plot that wrapped up, and then we also had the cool Gallifrey Flux stuff going on underneath it. Now, Vinder and Bell, their child. Why is so much sort of focus being put on them two and their child? Everyone is the timeless child. Vinder and Bell's child. Maybe. And I don't know how I feel about that, because if the Doctor is the timeless child, which, yeah, we kind of know, the Doctor's the timeless child, what does that mean for Vinder? And does that mean Vinder and Bell are the Doctor's parents? I don't know. I mean, I've seen some people, it's a good theory, that maybe the Master and the Doctor, no, maybe Vinder's child is the Master. Maybe that would be a better route to go down. I don't know. Maybe someone even suggested me, shout out to Adam. Adam suggested to me maybe that like, she's going to be pregnant with twins, and one's the Doctor, one's the Master. That would cause a lot of controversy, but I suppose whoever the child is, if they're a character of importance, that's going to cause controversy anyway. Alternatively, they could just be a child that we've never met before, and yeah, that could just be a happy ending or a sad ending if Bell gets killed and the child never gets born. But I don't think Doctor Who would go that depressing. Hopefully not. Anyway, yeah, the village atmosphere itself was really cool. I liked the lighting, I liked the direction of the episode. Yeah, that's another thing, big thing. I love the cool transitions where like they'd go into Professor Jericho's eye and come back out in space, or they'd go into space and then flip around to the other planet. Also, shout out to like bloody Neil from the In-Betweeners. Neil, what's his, Blake Harrison, is that? I might have made that name up. I think that's the actor's name. But yeah, he was cool in this episode. Once again, didn't get to do much, and we're probably not going to see his character again. But what we did see of him, yeah, solid, nice, well done performance. Overall, the episode felt a little bit disjointed because, once again, it was a lot of setup and not much payoff. But then again, we are in a serialized format, so that ongoing battle in my head of whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't really know, but I know that when we can binge watch the series, I am going to really look forward to rewatching this episode. Overall, it was very solid. I'd give it probably 8 or 9. 8. No, I'm going to go with an 8. An 8 out of 10. A definite improvement on last week, but it's not perfect. It's not as good as episode 2, I wouldn't say, but yeah, we're going to need the rest of the series to sort of justify what happens in this episode. It's full of interesting ideas and concepts, created a very spooky atmosphere. Overall, pretty solid. Now, it's time to talk about that next time trailer. I don't know whether I'm annoyed or angry or really excited that they put Kate Stewart in the actual trailer, because if they'd waited and I'd watched that for the first time, I would have jumped and gone, whoa, it's Kate, which, in all honesty, I did do when I watched the next time trailer, but I just feel like we were so close. We hadn't had it spoiled, and we could have watched next week's episode without knowing she was there, and as soon as she crops up on screen, we'd have all gone, whoa, Kate! And they've ruined the surprise a week early. Like, it's the age-old Moffat thing of, we'll tell you the surprise for next week so that you watch, which I do understand because it's going to draw in more audience. But at the same time, as a fan, I wish I didn't know that, because it would have just been really cool to see her pop up unexpectedly. But yeah, Unit is back, because we know from leaked pictures of the Centenary special that that Unit is going to be in the Centenary special. So that's cool. Unit is back in some capacity, because we know that they got like disbanded and stuff during Resolution and Revolution. There's been no Unit around, but after the events of the Flux, maybe Unit's banded together. We do also see in the next time trailer this guy that looks like he's wearing a Unit uniform. We've seen him in other series trailers. People did point out it's probably Unit, but we don't know that for certain. Whatever it is, it's looking cool. Hopefully we get Osgood back as well. That would be nice. Also, Carvanista, or however you say it, John Bishop's dog friend, that bloke, he's back next week, which is great because, yeah, he's been one of my favourite characters of this series. So hopefully we get more of him and Dan, like, quipping off against each other, and not more of that weird art that was going around on Twitter. Yeah, that was a bit weird, wasn't it? But overall, I'm really looking forward to next week. The stuff with the Doctor, the fact that we didn't actually see the Doctor in the next time trailer, other than in her Weeping Angel form, I liked that. Obviously, she's going to break out of that form at some point, but it was cool. We also saw an Ood in this trailer, which, yes, we love the Ood, but also, that Ood is in the same room as, I think her name's Aswok, that old woman from episode 3. So presumably we're going to have Aswok back again to give the Doctor some epic, cool backstory time, which is going to be interesting. So basically, we've got it confirmed next week that we've got Unit, we've got some answers on the way from the Division plot and all of this stuff. I'm presuming next week there are just going to be tons of answers and things thrown at us, because you cannot wait till the finale to wrap everything up, because there's just so much to piece together. But yeah, overall, really solid episode. 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Ooh, 8 out of 10. I'll stick with 8. I'm locking in the number 8. 8 out of 10. Very good. Really, really optimistic for next week's episode. That looks really cool. Really welcome presents to have Unit and Kate Stewart back. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and goodbye.